You know what's so funny? On the project 15 Minutes in Queens, there's like a little pre-chorus at the end where I'm like, on one of the songs where I'm like, I heard I rhyme like Nas and sound like Tip. Like, so you're like, those are definitely things that, but to even be mentioned with a Nasir Jones or fucking, you know, a Q-Tip, like that's crazy. Like that's out of here, you know? So but that's the goal, right? Because those guys are legends. So like if you played basketball and somebody was like, yo, this guy plays just like Michael Jordan, you be like, okay, I fuck with that guy. That he plays just like Michael Jordan? Like, yeah. Yeah. You can bring that over here. So like the shit is an honor. But what I'll do, even that fucking song, right? So I'm in Queens that night, and I'm from New Jersey, right? So like I'm not from New York. I'm from fucking little projects in New Jersey. I talk about it all the time, Project City. But we're in Queens at a party with Spit Gems, right? So it's me. It's who was there? My man from the Beat Nuts, Juju from the Beat Nuts. So literally at this party, Juju comes up to me. This street corner shit, right? Stay with me. So Juju comes up to me. He's like, yo, like you're fucking nice. And I'm like, thank you. He's like, nah, bro, I've been around Pun. I've been around all of them. You nice. Like your voice, yo, where you from? And I'm like, I'm from New Jersey. He's like, I don't know nobody in New Jersey rapping like you. I'm like, thank you. AG the Coroner is there too. AG the Coroner plays me this record that he wants me to get on. He wants, and the shit was fire. So we sitting there, and I'm like, I bet. About 10 minutes in, my man and I'm with get a call from Cormega. Cormega's in Queensbridge. So Cormega wants us to come check him out in Queensbridge. So we drive from, I don't know where we were in Queens, Astoria maybe. We go over to Queensbridge. So we're standing outside of Queensbridge. We're in the projects with Cormega. And we're talking, and he's telling me, you know, we having a good conversation. He plays me a record that he did with Public Enemy. So we go back to the party. I'm like, oh shit, this is a crazy night. I get home like 3, 4 in the morning. I'm like, I got to do that shit for AG. I start writing. I write one long verse, which I'm like, I can't give this to AG. I can't give it to him. This shit is too fire. And that becomes street corner shit. That's how street corner shit was made. It was one long verse, and that's what it became. I mean, I think Trust is probably unlike anything that the industry has ever seen. Like with the collective of individual talent, the collective of camaraderie, the way we just kind of like rock together. There's definitely a healthy competition because, you know, when you send a verse off, it's like, you know, Shay coming after this, Planet Asia coming after this, Spesh coming out, like, so, you know, you got to make sure Ransom coming after this now, like, you got to make sure that it's like super sharp. And the thing that I love about it is that it still gives us our autonomy, right? So we're not locked into anything. Like Spesh is about, yo, if the deal makes sense someplace else, go make the deal. It only makes trust stronger. You know what I mean? So for Shay to go do the thing with Apollo Brown, it only makes trust stronger. For me to go do the album with Buck Wild, it only makes trust stronger. Excuse me, you know what I mean? So in the year Ransom had, you know, with Wes Craven, it's just like, come on, man. And then Spesh, you know, so it's just like, you know, it's just, and Mussolini had a great year. And, you know, Flea Lord had a great year. And, you know, a historic year. 12 projects in 12 months. So, you know, it's just, you know, Reef Hustle got a project coming out. Fred dropped 2 projects. Like, it's just, yeah. I connected with Kenny from a producer by the name of Malik, who me and Malik was working on a project. We was from MySpace. I met Malik through MySpace. And he was like, yo, let's work. I went to a studio, we worked. And he was working for Ill Friction record label. And they primarily do house. But he was like, yo, I know Kenny. And I'm like, I don't know who Kenny is. And he's like, nah, he's a big producer, I'm telling you. I'm like, all right, whatever. So we recorded some music and he played it for Kenny. Kenny liked it. And Kenny wanted to meet. And so we met up and, you know, me and Kenny was cool. We had a good, had a good rapport. Then I went home and Googled Kenny, and I was like, oh shit, like he's done everything. I'm so happy I hadn't Googled him first before I met him, because I might have been acting different. But when I went home and Googled him, when I met him, it was him and DJ Terry Hunter. They had just, maybe they had just got back from Chicago. And I was like, or overseas somewhere. And I'm like, oh shit, like he produced what? He did what? And so he invited, like that day, he was like, yo, come to the studio. You want somebody to do the beatbox? I'll have Biz do it. And that first studio session was me, him, and Bismarck.